Hey guys, good to see you again. I miss you guys. Today I'm going to read you a fiction story. It's a very strange story, but I think you guys will enjoy it. So remember, fiction is made up, it's fantasy, so there's some things that are going to happen in the story that could never happen in real life, but it keeps it entertaining. Let's go through our vocabulary for this story. The first word is permanent, lasting for a very long time or forever. Example, my dad says getting a tattoo is a big decision because it's permanent. Okay, next word, barreling, moving very fast in a dangerous way. So if you barrel through something, you're probably going to knock it over. Ty sent the hockey puck barreling into the net for the winning goal. Gaze, a long, steady look. Some people like to gaze at the stars. Okay, Michael fixed his gaze on the tree branch to make sure he really did see the rare bird. Scalded means burn someone or something with hot liquid. I don't know if you've ever done that to yourself, but it hurts if you get scalded. The soup almost scalded my mom, but then she remembered to blow on it to cool it first. I've also had that happen if I drink hot chocolate that's too hot or eat soup that's too hot. It kind of scalds your tongue a little bit, and it's almost like you lose your taste buds. All right, and our last word is partnership, okay? Relationship between two people who work together to get something done. Aaron and Kim formed a partnership when they decided to start a jewelry business. All right, let's get on to the story. It's called The Day It Rained Cats. And like I said, it's fantasy. Obviously, it can't really rain cats. But there's also something in the story that was new to me, a new term. And it's to lev someone, which means to, like, with your mind, make them float, or an object. So kind of like levitating. So when you hear the word lev, it just means that they're going to raise it. And they're going to explain that in the story. But just kind of a background, this story is about a girl named Shira, and her family, her grandmother, is teaching her how to lev people, objects, things, etc. So let's go ahead and get started. Go to the next page. Okay, here we go. So this is broken up into parts. Again, it's fiction. Okay, it's a made-up story. And here's all our vocabulary words if you need to refer to them at any time while I'm reading, okay? Suddenly, Shira knew that her life would never be the same. Part 1. When cats came raining down from the sky, I knew it was because Grandma was angry. I saw one cat fall past my window, then 2 more. So I shut my book and rushed outside. Grandma stared over the fence. Our cat, Harry, flew out of the apple tree. About time, she yelled at him. Where have you been? Grandma, what happened? I asked. I wanted to feed Harry, she said. I called and he didn't come, so... I realized then that Grandma had tried to lev Harry, and she had ended up leving all of our neighbors' cats as well. Leving means lifting something with only your thoughts. Lots of people have the power, but I've never seen anyone better at it than Grandma. Every Halloween, she would carve a pumpkin without touching the knife. She could thread a needle just by looking at it. To make money, she organized yard sales. Leving people's junk into boxes to be sold was easy. It was the perfect job for her. I didn't know it at the time, but the cats raining were a sign of a big change. Life would never be the same for Grandma or for me. Okay, so part 1, Grandma's angry, ends up leving all the neighbor cats. Pretty funny. All right, part 2. Okay. It had started maybe 2 years ago. Grandma and I were eating breakfast a few weeks before my 11th birthday. Suddenly, Grandma slapped her hands together. That's it, she said. It's time to decide. If you wanted to be a lever, you had to start training on your 11th birthday. Practice took at least 2 hours a day for a whole year. Then the skill became permanent, so you couldn't get rid of it if you learned how to lev. Grandma stared at me. It's hard work, she said. If you give up, it'll be a waste of my time and yours. Leving had been a much bigger deal when she was young. Today, most kids thought it was pointless because everything is done by computers and machines. My older brother Kai never learned how to lev. Most of my friends weren't planning on it either. I took a deep breath. I want to be able to lev like you, I said. I promise I won't let you down. And at that moment, I really meant it. Okay? So in that part, we learned that when she was 11, she was going to be able to start training to learn how to lev, and she decided that she wanted to do it. So her grandmother was going to teach her. Part 3. Here are the leving basics. You have to focus completely on whatever you want to lev. The bigger or heavier an object is, the harder it is to lift. Leving something that's moving is trickiest of all. On only my second try, I leved the flap of an envelope. Over the next month, I moved on to heavier objects, a paper cup, a metal spoon. By January, I could lev the TV remote. Each time I succeeded, Grandma gave me a little nod. And then I got stuck on a can of baked beans for weeks. No matter how hard I tried, it didn't move. I stared at it for 2 hours every day. One Friday after school, I was thinking about the evening ahead. Me and my new BFF, a can of beans. Then my phone buzzed with a text from my human best friend, Sandra. Iron Weaver, 2 ticks, pick you up at 7. Iron Weaver was a book series Sandra and I loved. The bookstore had given out 500 tickets to the release of book 3. I couldn't believe Sandra had gotten a pair. It was all I could talk about at dinner, until Grandma cut in. What about the beans? She asked. Everyone got quiet. Tomorrow's Saturday, I said. I'll practice extra. Grandma took a sip of water, staring at me over the top of the glass. After dinner, I texted Sandra. Can't go. Get a book for me? Tears stung my eyes as I put down my phone. The book signing was the first of many events that I would miss. I skipped the water park and the mall, movies and basketball games. Instead, I hung out with the can of beans. I could still only get it to move a little, but at least I was getting better with other stuff. By July, I could empty a laundry basket and fold everything except the sheets. So here it asks a good question. We're going to make an inference in this green bubble. Right here, Grandma stares at her over her sip of water, okay? What can we figure out that Grandma's probably thinking when Shira decided that she was just going to go to this book signing instead of practice? Okay, she's giving her that look while she's drinking her water like, I don't think Grandma thought that was a good idea. I think Grandma wanted her to stay and practice some more. But then Shira decides to stay. She cancels her plans, so that shows that she's pretty dedicated to learning how to lev and to doing what her grandmother wants her to do. All right, let's read part 4. On a hot afternoon in August, Grandma asked me to help her with a yard sale. It was for the Lewises, who lived around the corner. Grandma would lev the heavier things, I'd do the lighter ones. Mr. and Mrs. Lewis were in the garage. Their 2 kids, Molly, 4, and Liam, 2, blew bubbles on the front step. I leved the junk items into boxes. Grandma leved the boxes into a huge pile on the curb. As I tried to focus on the ugly lamp, Molly and Liam ran past me. They were chasing a giant bubble toward the street. Just then, a big gray car came barreling around the corner. The large pile of boxes blocked the driver's view of the kids. Molly! Liam! Mrs. Lewis screamed. Grandma called out to me, Quick, Shira! I fixed my gaze on Liam. He was so much heavier than a can of beans, and he was moving too. Sweat broke out on my forehead. Liam rose a few inches into the air. I held my breath and tried my hardest as the car came closer. And somehow, I lifted Liam and set him down safely at the end of the driveway. Meanwhile, Grandma had leved Molly onto the lawn. The car drove past, and Mr. and Mrs. Lewis cried as they held their kids. Grandma walked over and gave me a hug. "I knew you could do it," she said. That night, I leved the beans. It was so easy, the can almost hit the ceiling. So I think that part gave her confidence. She saved a little kid by leving the little kid out of the way of that car. It's really cool. Part 5. Over the next few weeks, Grandma's leving powers started to slip. She would pick up the wrong things. She almost scalded herself when she dropped a cup of tea. Then came the day she leved all those cats. That night, Dad called a family meeting. "Ma," he said gently, "we think it's time for you to stop leving." Grandma looked sad. She knew it was time, but she didn't stop right away. Then later that week, she came into my room. "I can't lev anymore," she said. "From now on, you'll do it for me." "But I'm not as good as you are," I said. "In that case, we better practice," she said. After that, practicing felt less like training and more like a partnership. While I was learning to lev, she was learning not to. So here it says, why is this an important moment for Grandma and Shira when Grandma says she can't lev anymore and that Shira will have to? I think that's pretty cool because they've kind of changed roles. Grandma's getting to where she can't do it, so the younger one's having to take over. And now they're going to work together. Part 6. Grandma never leved anything again. That winter she passed away. A few weeks later, I found a picture of us. I was 4, and she had leved me into the air. I was grinning like the happiest flying kid on earth. Now I fought back tears. "I miss you, Grandma," I whispered. Then I leved the picture into the air and made it flap open and closed like the wings of a butterfly. Kind of a cool story, definitely fantasy. After you guys have read the story, please go to the link on this day for Wakelet and complete the quiz. It's a few questions, multiple choice, and then the last 2 are just short answer. And it's about the story. And feel free to use this video to help you answer the questions. Talk to you guys later. Bye.